talk nicely to your equipment. Don't yell at it because it's rain that lets flowers grow, not thunder.
Oh my god, Larry.
Yeah?
Nothing. I hope we went live with enough time for it to play that. God. Oh my god. I wasn't yelling at it. I swear.
If your boyfriend is watching this, he might be able to tell you that. I don't know. Is anyone in stream to have a second opinion?
Someone's on YouTube.
Hi, person on YouTube.
Hi.
I'm finishing up this cake.
I'm gonna make myself a root beer float later, but it's probably gonna be when I get off stream. I'm running low on ice cream, and I didn't get any in my last grocery order because I'm like, well, I have chocolate. I can just finish the chocolate without doing floats, which is valid. I can. I will. However, I just don't want my root beer to go flat, and then I've wasted my root beer.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll make it work. Make it work. What kind of cake?
A poke cake. You know what a poke cake is?
I feel like I should.
Okay. So what you do is you bake your cake like normal.
Oh wait, hang on.
Fresh out of the oven.
You poke holes in it and you pour Jello in?
No, we put caramel. It's a chocolate cake with caramel and Cool Whip and Butterfingers on top.
Okay, because when my mom does poke cake like that, she'll put like different kinds of Jello in it, and then Kool-Aid or the Cool Whip on top.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
But ooh, caramel sounds good.
It was very good, and I don't know if this is gonna happen, but my dad might ask me to watch Obi-Wan with him at some point tonight, and I don't know if it will be during stream. I'm just not going to be shocked if he comes in and he's like, I want to watch it. Because he's going on a 7-day vacation tomorrow.
Fishing
vacation.
Yeah, and it's Father's Day weekend. So
yeah. I don't want to tell him, no, Dad, can't you tell that I'm playing horses?
It's horse game night.
It's so funny. They are like, oh, it's horse night. I'm like, yeah, it's horse night.
So does my boyfriend. My boyfriend does that too. Like, he'll be like, oh, what are you up to tonight? I'm like, yeah, I got horse game. And he goes, oh, you always have a lot of fun with horse game. I'm like, yeah,
yeah. This is the stream in which Lori bullies Emma.
It's just relentless.
She's over and over again, and everyone watching is like, is Emma okay?
And the answer is no.
No, she's not.
No, I'm long past okay.
Emma's in tears on the floor, curled up in fetal position, on stream, on camera.
Yep. With the camera pointed directly at me, and I'm just gross sobbing. I'm doing it for the views.
For the views.
It's all for the views.
Some people just sleep during their streams?
Yes.
And that's weird.
Incredibly.
That's the easiest way to stream.
I don't know if I could do that. I don't know why.
Knowing
why
people are watching you?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't you? It's easy cash.
Have you done it?
You just gotta sleep through it.
I don't know about you, but I totally tune into a Lurie live feed of you just going about your daily business. We're watching you like you watch Rolo in his little tank.
I'm just a little creaure. I did not crawl out of bed until 2 p.m. today, though, so I don't know how interesting I would be.
No, but it's like all those zoo cams. It's right? People just want to see the animals at the zoo. Which now we're getting into human zoo territory, which is Futurama.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you remember that episode of Futurama? I just watched it the other day where
I vaguely remember it.
There's this one I think it's like right around the time that they have Fry and Leela like dating in
Mhm.
one of the later seasons. And they get an advertisement that's like, "Oh, come to this like hidden oasis that only you and your partner will be able to like be at the same time."
Oh, that's right. And they're like on a date, but actually it's just people
Y-
watching them.
yeah, it's just that they're like
I remember.
they're voluntarily in a human zoo. And I think that that's like so funny because then the only way that anybody finds out about that is because like Amy and Bender, Amy's in disguise as a marmoset, and they have to go to like the monkey planet to do
Yeah.
a delivery, and they see Fry and Leela hooking up in the human zoo.
Oh my god.
Oh, I brought out my
I
appy
remember that.
again. He's so tired though.
I have not been with my Irish cob in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Shires though because they are
I am
also going to be able. I'm
too.
going to give mine a beard.
Oh, that did they? I didn't see
They,
that. Like CC, did CC do another video on the main styles, or did
no,
I just miss that?
I think you missed that part. It was
Okay.
in the beginning with all like the in the menu because you can look at every single hairstyle,
Oh.
and it's every single hairstyle can have. But then there's another set where everything is with the beard, and I'm like, I want to put a beard on mine.
Oh. I love that. Love that a lot.
I'm gonna get that really light brown one. I don't know the name. I
I
don't
think
know
it's just a light
horses.
I do. I think it's just light
Light
chestnut.
chestnut. And then I'm gonna name him Sweet Corn.
Oh my god. That's cute.
He's gonna have a little beard.
I really wish that like we could like just, name horses things that aren't in the drop down menu because I just wish that I could name the black one Angus because that's your classic Shire. And
Yeah.
I'd love to make a Brave reference out of that, but I know I can't. So I'll have to
Are you
come up
gonna
with
get the black and
something.
white one?
Yeah, I think that one's just like I love the look of the classic Shire, just like the high whites and the big blaze. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have to look back at the main styles again. I did they have any like how the Clydesdales have like the flights with the
Yep, they
colored
have
flights?
those.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They have those. But the thing is, the main styles weren't complete. Like a lot of them had a temporary pink texture on them,
Right.
so you couldn't see the color of the bobs.
Right. Yep.
You
Okay.
know, like I might go for the bob because I think they had the bob with the beard too, but I want to see
Mhm.
what the color would be because I think I'm just gonna throw that green tack set on sweet corn too because so far every new horse I've gotten has just fit that tack set. I'm like,
I know
yes,
that's a
be
nice
green.
tack set. Like I
Yeah.
think what I'm gonna do when the fish ones come out is I have some stuff I can kind of slap together that's either
Mhm.
like that maroon set that I was using and then just get a bridle for it.
Yeah.
Um and I think that'll look really good on the cuz I'm getting the lionfish one.
Yeah, me
Um
too.
yeah. But as far as the Shire goes, I don't know. Maybe I'll just snag the I like the saddle pad, that color purple that the saddle pad is from the Baroness's racetrack. I like that a
Hmm.
lot.
It's
Um,
real good.
but I don't know if I necessarily want the like lighter gray tack.
Hmm.
So I might just grab the saddle pad and find something else to put with it. Um,
Yeah.
or see what else I have in my closet. Because I did grab some stuff from the rainbow event, but only like the saddle pad and the boots. Because I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm not gonna like grind heavily to get like 10,000 more coins for the saddle. Like I just don't have the time to do that. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can either get it
Wait.
next year or I can accessorize.
Oh, true. Also, wait, this rain cloud works for people.
Oh yes.
I can't click on it whatsoever.
Oh no.
So I can't complete the rainbow, and I'm so mad
Oh
about it.
no. Yeah,
And
it's
I
worked
could
for me
use
like
support.
every day.
Yeah, I can't click on it.
Every day you gotta like go and grab the rain clouds, like hurting the animals at Starshine.
Surprise! It
Yeah.
doesn't work for me.
Oh no. Ugh. No, no. Okay, so I cannot believe you have not seen Tumblr Pikachu Man in the wild. I
I
can't
not in
believe
the
that.
wild. No,
I
I
can't
don't
believe that
use
I had to
Tumblr
show you
mobile.
that.
I mean,
I
I've seen him. I just didn't know. I mean, I saw one shit post. I'm like, oh, that's funny. Like over a week ago, so I
yeah,
forgot. I'm like,
yeah,
wait, that's a thing that everyone's seeing all the time.
yeah.
What?
It's
I have ad
literally
blocker. I
yeah.
don't see him.
No, and I have ad blocker too on desktop, but like when it comes to Tumblr mobile, which I'm on occasionally at work or like I'll check it at night, and it was just like every other ad was Tumblr advertising itself with that. And if you like you can't comment on it, but you can read the tags and like
Hmm.
the tags are everybody going like what is this? What why is this here?
Oh my
What are you
gosh.
doing? And it's like everybody's horrified by it. And then the memes that have come out of that are honestly hilarious. Like there's the Gravity Falls one that's like, you know this guy? Like, know him. He's been following us all day. Like I, I just think it's fantastic. But like I I happen to be like I happen to see it. Like there was like one time that I saw it and it triggered something in me and I was like, it would be hilarious with like how you do meme redraws if you just drew instead of being Pikachu man, it was Aaron man.
Oh my god,
I
hell no. That's too scary. I saw that, I was like, nah. Here, I'll give you a preview of my next meme redraw.
oh please.
It's gonna be this fucking windy.
Oh yes.
Because I've never done that before, and like my real life friends are like, what do you mean you haven't drawn him as that before? Like that feels illegal. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
Oh my god. Um but no, it's just like the way you responded to me that you were like, what? And all I could think of was that lady, the meme that I tagged you in later that was like
I
the
love that
what?
lady. The what?
Like that was with that being your instant reaction, I was like, yeah. Oh no, Larry, I'm stuck. Larry, I'm stuck.
What do you mean you're stuck, nerd?
I bounced on the same marshmallow cloud like 5 times and I couldn't move.
Ooh, wait, okay, okay, hold on. Gosh.
Wee.
Why? Yes, restore my tabs. I got another
Weehaw.
something related to the
Oh.
the what image.
Wee.
Okay. So I have a small I had a small I don't think we've replied to it for a while. But me and Venny, my friend Venny, aka Jewel,
Yeah.
on Tumblr, Aaron and their character Plum were talking about like how Aaron was a Twinkie.
Oh
He should
no.
be a Twinkie and everything. He was just like, fine. I guess I'm the new mascot for Twinkies.
Oh
Whatever.
no.
And then Plum was just like, well, at least you're not like a ho-ho or a ding-dong. And he literally had the reaction of the what? Because he doesn't know what those treats are. And Plum's like, yeah, they're like little cakes. And he's like, can you call them ding-dongs? And
oh my god.
And it was so funny because I DM'd Benny. I was just like, Aaron is literally the image of the what?
I love it.
If you really think about it,
I love it.
Why are they called that?
Why are they called that?
Why do we just openly call these cupcakes hoes and ding dongs? in Twinkies. It's like
Uh,
what's the gay agenda? I don't know. Maybe
yeah,
there's Hostess cupcakes.
what's the gay agenda? Hostess is the gay agenda. Oh
You
my
really think about
god.
it?
I'm gonna look that up,
Just saying.
actually. I'm gonna look that up.
All the name
Why
of Hostess cakes.
are hostess cakes
The gay agenda.
hostess cakes called ho-hos?
I mean, I have some literally in my closet right now.
Ho-hos.
My mom puts them in my dad's lunch, so and she's like, "Don't eat them; they're for your dad." And I still sneak one or two hoes, you
It's like,
know.
they're basic. That nerfed me. I sneak one or two hoes, you know, guys. Okay. Oh
Took myself
no.
out.
Wait, it doesn't say why. Maybe just because they're made by Hostess. But
Yeah.
then it says Happy Ho Ho was created in the 1970s and was the original mascot for Ho-Hos. He dressed similarly to Robin Hood. Okay.
It's like, okay.
Okay. History of Ho-Hos. They're basically Swiss rolls, but like not. But why? I want to know why they're called Ho-Hos. Maybe I should look up why Twinkies are called Twinkies first because I'm not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Why are Twinkies called that? Oh. Okay. The manager of the baking plant concocted the Twinkie by filling a shortcake with a sugar and cream mixture. He came up with the name based on an advertisement for Twinkle Toe shoes.
What?
That's so boring.
Can we say it's for the gay agenda?
I'm gonna put this in the chat, but I don't think I should say this on stream. But I also am gonna put it under a censor because I don't know. I don't want the Star Stable I don't want people to get notifications on their phone and all of a sudden it's like this filth in the Star Stable chat. So like, give me a second here.
Okay.
But I don't think I can necessarily. I mean, I know we've said some shit on here, but I think this is too far. Okay.
Are you putting it in the Discord chat?
Yep.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, you are.
Yeah. It's under a censor though because we're not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about it.
I mean, you basically
Am I right?
just described Jonas.
Hey.
Tell me that I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not at all. It's really funny.
Get it? Because it's almost Sunday.
Oh my god. As now there's 2 people on YouTube watching this. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
You don't need to know what we're talking.
No.
Just know that it's almost Sunday, and I'm winking at Emma. She understands. She knows when I'm winking at Emma.
In fact, I'd prefer if you had no context for what we were talking about, because then you'll just realize that we're bad people.
Are we? Are we?
Are we?
Are we?
No.
I'm gonna be once. I don't know if I showed you that art that I made, but I'm
you did.
posting the.
Well, you showed
I'm
me.
Posting it.
You showed me one, I believe.
Okay, once I'm done with this race, I have to check which one I showed you because I've been on a roll. 2 more are in the works. Let's go, baby.
Oh god.
Spinning my imaginary lasso like I learned I have a skill. Yeehaw.
Same, because like once you start drawing like that.
That
Yeah, like you feel like you've become all powerful.
I
It's
did. I
weird.
am.
It's weird. Like it's not something that you realize like until you do it and it turns out good for the first time and you're like, "Oh."
It was
And
so
then
funny
it's
because
just a
I showed.
realization.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally how I've been. Like, you've seen Turning Red, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's quite literally, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Where it's just like you're like,
100%.
oh, and then you just go in full mode of draw, 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 draw.
Yeah, but at that point too, it's like you're not even like really like you're totally zoned out and desensitized by exactly what you're drawing. That you
I am
don't
now.
like, yeah, that you don't even think about it anymore, and you're just like, I need to finish this. It has
You're
to
like,
look
you don't
right.
understand. I'm just like, you don't understand. It has to be atomically correct.
Well, that's like, I always hate when like people make the assumption that oh because you're an art major and you've had to do life drawing classes and you oh my god you sit there and you look at people while they're naked and you draw them and it's like
Mhm.
yeah and we're all crying,
Yeah.
all of us sitting there with charcoal in our hands are sobbing because we've been trying to get the proportions correct and we can't, and we
Mm-hmm.
only have
And
5 minutes before the model moves.
yeah, because the model needs to move. Because how a model can sometimes do an hour-long
Oh my
pose,
god, yes, I felt
just
so
like, oh
bad
my
for those
gosh.
people. Like I know they're getting paid, and I think the funniest part about like where I went to school is, and I don't know if this was the same for you, is
Mm-hmm.
they would advertise like, hey, we need models,
Yeah.
and you get paid more if you're nude.
Oh no, ours was you were required to be nude. You could not do
Okay,
it unless you were nude.
okay,
So so if you did the job, they're like just reminding you. They're like you may think
mm-hmm,
that you might be able to do this, but you really don't know
mm-hmm,
until you're like fully nude. And then of course you are and a lot of the nude art like models that we have were
yeah,
fellow students, and
yes,
they're like
yeah,
you might have your peers
right,
to be completely butt naked, but it's not. You know you tell
right,
family or friends or whatever, and it's like who are not artists.
yeah.
And I don't have many that are not artists, but like they don't. Sometimes they're just like, and they're naked, and I'm like, it's not in the manner you're thinking. You
No.
know how like, and and people think they're like, I'm gonna feel weird seeing a naked person, and here I am, ace as hell. I'm like, let's go. But yeah,
Oh my god.
I had some friends in college that were just like who were also art majors, like, oh, I think I could do that. I'm
Yeah.
like, could you really though? Could you really? And I'm not saying that to like,
Right.
kill anyone's
Yeah.
confidence. Not at all. It's more like I don't know if you are mentally prepared for that. You may think, oh, that's fun.
Right. But like you know, like with my college, like they
Mhm,
did do clothes sessions, or like my illustration professor would like
mhm,
have costumes in the
mhm.
class that people could just grab, and there'd be occasions where he's like, okay, well, we're gonna work on fabric physics, uh put on that cloak over there, you know, or like wrap
Yeah.
yourself in a blanket or something like that. And
Mhm.
like I gotta give props to those models because like I don't think, I mean, I, I have done public speaking and had to stand in
Mhm.
front of a group of people and like talk and have them look at me. But then when you think about it in the context of, oh, you're a model that these people are drawing, is it's not just people looking at you, it's people dissecting you
Yeah.
with their eyes.
Exactly. Like
That's what it is.
completely.
Yeah. And like they might like, and I know this is just me talking from experience, is that like I would often like disconnect myself and go, okay, well, I know it's a person I'm drawing, but in order to get the shapes right, I have to look at them as shapes and not a person.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
you're not even really thinking that the real person in front of you is a human being. You're just trying to treat them like a mannequin. you know,
Yeah.
um, which
Yeah.
is such a bizarre thing to have to like do, and it's even like weirder to put it into words.
Mm-hmm. And and then my professor, she always had, warn people too who were, interested in if they had like a penis or something, like you have to be prepared that if you accidentally pop one,
Hmm.
everyone's gonna see
Oh
it.
god.
And because like people like I had trans woman as my model, and
Hmm.
she was a model for years, so it's like it never happened.
Yeah.
So which is, so it's like, but if it does, you have to be,
Right. Like I'm
everyone in the
sure.
room, but mostly you have to be prepared. And no,
Yeah.
and people have to really like, no, it is not. It's
Right.
not a sexual connotation. It happens. That's a bodily function, especially when you're
Yeah.
experiencing anxiety and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's
I'm
just,
sure they have to have
you
a
think you
whole
can do it?
rundown of like what they can and
Yeah.
can't do, and then because like I, being in classes, like we were kind of given a spiel about like, like don't make the model uncomfortable, like
Mm-hmm.
very like things that should be obvious, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that rundown too. And I'll never forget, because when we it was a 3-hour class.
Hmm.
So whenever we went on break, the model also went on break. So she would hang out
Yeah.
with us and stuff. And then it was a cloak day, or like a fabric day or something.
Yeah.
And I think her name was Belle. And Belle was like, had it before we went on break. She was in this like really elegant sitting pose. And I'll never forget. I was like, Belle. And she's like, yeah, little granola bar. I'm just like, just by the way, like you in that cloak, you looked like a goddess. And how she
Oh.
just instantly went, oh. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's so
Because she
sweet.
did.
That's so sweet. Oh my
Yeah.
god. But I just love how
It was
that's
she was
been your
very pretty in
focus.
that pose.
Yeah, like I just love though that like the NSFW stuff has been your focus this week, and mine has been I'm back to
The
making pain-filled
comment.
comics.
I know, I'm so excited for you. I know the
Oh
amount of work
god.
that goes into that though, and I commend you. I'm like, oh, she's doing it. She's doing it.
I'll have to show you my I'll have to show you my thumbnails because god, they're awful. I forgot how
Dude,
bad I was at thumbnails.
dude, thumbnails are meant to be absolute shit.
Oh,
You're fine.
I know, but it's just like it's funny to me because there's only like one looks pretty exact to how it actually ended up being, and then there's another one that's pretty close but not quite, and then the other two are like nope, not even remotely
Yeah.
close to what I actually did in the end.
Oh my gosh. But okay, so I'm looking, and I did send you that one that I plan on posting
Yeah,
to
yeah.
yeah. Because I don't know if I think it got flagged on Tumblr.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
one that you said got flagged.
yeah. Yeah, it got flagged, but maybe I
Yeah.
can crop it and then do that
I
instead. But
It
this
was
is the
so funny. I
thumbnail. If you're
cropped
wondering the
mine.
thumbnail, I just
Oh
DM'd it to you.
no. I'll look in a second. I'm in the middle of a race. But no, like what I had to do with the couple that I posted was like, even though it was censored heavily, I like turned it on an angle in Procreate and took a picture of it, like took a screenshot of it that way, and then posted it. And the censors didn't catch it. I was like, oh my god,
Dude,
that's all it took.
I know I should really just take it and do the anime style of censoring, not the tiny black part across the top, but just the full white out. I'm like, I don't know what's under there. What could be under there?
Like, oh no.
Where is it? What could it possibly be?
Oh my god, it would be really funny, and I don't know if it would get you banned. Like, I don't know if it would flag it or not. I'm sure it would. But it'd be really funny if you censored everything except what you should be censoring.
I could try. This was Emma's request.
Because I just think that would be really funny. But like, just like, yeah, guys, it's really censored, and then like, no.
Yeah. I
Like,
could do everything except the thing. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's a funny joke.
Yeah, it's very funny. Oh, also,
Oh.
so this week, I remembered our conversation Wednesday about theme parks, and
Yeah.
you know, you were talking about the Avatar theme park,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like watching Jenny Nicholson.
I don't know who that is, but
She does a lot of like video essay type stuff in the same vein as like Sarah Zed and Lindsay Ellis. I
mm-hmm.
actually think those three all know each other because I know I've heard
Mm-hmm.
Jenny's voice in other things. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but Jenny's a huge theme park nerd. She loves like Marvel and Star Wars and does like horrible book reviews and stuff. And she's also a horse person, which I learned the other day. I thought that was
Nice.
interesting. But she did a video on like it's called like an excruciatingly deep dive of the Avatar theme park,
Mm.
and it's not inherently negative.
Yeah, yeah.
She
Well, of course, everything is open to critique.
she she's like, I love it so
Mm.
much, but it's one of those things where it's like, just because I love it doesn't mean I can't be critical of some things.
Well,
But
yeah.
it's just fascinating to watch her takes on it because she's so like effortlessly funny.
Yeah.
Like just the inflection of her voice makes me laugh sometimes.
You should send me the video.
I will. It's like a 40 or 50 minute long video.
Oh, yeah, I can watch it during work.
Yeah. Oh,
Or listen to it, I should say. I listen to so much stuff
I'm headed over to the
during work.
Baroness's racetrack if you wonder where I be.
I'm gonna follow you. So
I'm
I'm
on
just
the
following
move.
you around. I was
I
on max level. I mean, I have my
yeah,
halflinger I need to upgrade, but
I'm totally maxed,
pride horse.
and this fella is really slow. I've just been logging on a couple times today and doing the champs when I get a chance to grind for cash. But I will send you the video because I was like
Mm-hmm.
heavily entertained by it, and
Good, good.
and then you'll probably go down the rabbit hole of like other videos of
Yeah.
hers. Another of my favorites, and this one is just like her like so just like roasting this thing so hard, is she'll find terrible books on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon and do like a read along during the video. And my favorite one is there's this book called Trigger Warning. That's exactly what you think it is, where
Oh my
it's
god.
like right-wing propaganda. And it is
Mm-hmm.
honestly like her review and her reading it is seriously one of the funniest things that I've ever witnessed in my life. Um, I think she also did one on the like Josh Hutcherson trapped on an island, and a Jeff the Killer fanfic. There's
Mm-hmm.
also one that's a published Raylo fanfic, which was quite funny because they like go to extreme lengths to make it very much not Kylo Ren and Rey,
I think
but
I
it's
have heard about
it's
that.
called like Black Moon Rising.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, she does
just
a
make it a
review of it.
fanfic.
Yeah, and it's like that's exactly what it is. But man, if you're loving like video essays and stuff, she's fantastic. She's got a BronyCon one too because have you ever heard of the series Friendship is Witchcraft?
Nope.
Okay, it used to be really really big in the My Little Pony circle um when the show came out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically like parodies of other shows, but they like it's along the same vein of like Naruto abridged, like all the abridged stuff like that got popular on YouTube, where
Mm-hmm.
people use clips from the show, but then they do their own voices over it.
Yeah, I love the
And
Bridge series.
yeah, you can probably still find it on YouTube. The like Friendship is Witchcraft, but Jenny did a voice for Pinkie Pie and did a couple songs as Pinkie Pie, and she sounds quite a bit like the Pinkie Pie voice actor. But she did a complete dissection of the last BronyCon ever in existence, and that's fascinating to me. Like, wow.
Yeah. That's
Lots
wild.
of good fodder. Also,
I love
Sarah.
having good fodder to listen to while I work.
Yes. Sarah Zed's DashCon video is a gem as well.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Like the DashCon?
yeah, like the DashCon. Like Internet Historian did like a 10 or 15-minute video on it years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sarah's is 50 minutes long.
Oh my
And
gosh.
because she actually found out like a lot more details.
Yeah. You can
Um,
deep dive it pretty easily these days.
yes. She also did a deep dive on Homestuck, like in
Mhm.
general, like the Homestuck fandom. And then basically, like, Andrew Hussey reached out to her and threatened to sue her for libel.
Oh no.
Yeah, so then there was a
Does she
part two
take
to
it
that
down?
video.
Oh.
She did not. Her
Oh.
lawyers were like, no, you didn't say anything that wasn't public on the internet. You're not taking this down. And then she just proceeded to make a second video about the stuff. I love that kind of thing. I love that
Oh,
shit
the
so
pettiness.
much.
Oh.
Um, Same with and I know Lindsay Ellis has stopped doing YouTube for personal reasons, but Lindsay has an amazing journey, two videos long of the Omegaverse court case.
What? You're dropping so many things on
Oh
me
no.
tonight. I'm just
The
like, the what?
the Omegaverse
They
federal
offer you
court
like to have a
case.
word.
Yeah, it went to federal court.
That's
And
amazing.
ABO, this lady, this woman who writes Het ABO, took another author of ABO to court because she claimed that she was the sole like the sole creator of Het ABO.
It's
And
for the gays, honey.
yeah. like she was basically like trying to sue them for like infringement or something, that like, oh well, you can't write the same kind of story that I'm writing because I did it first.
Oh god.
And like, while those of us in fandom are pretty well versed with the concept of like Omegaverse, like, and any like story could be set in quote the Omegaverse, and it's not fan fiction. The court system couldn't seem to grasp that. Like there were a lot of points that were like, oh, so because you write Omegaverse, it's fan fiction. And she's like, no, it's not fan fiction. And they went back and forth on that. There's like a part from like a legal transcript that they read. It's crazy.
Oh, that poor court case.
Yep. Well,
God,
and then
I mean,
it got really bad. And Lindsay was just like not roasting the woman or anything in the first video. Not at all. And then I guess the lady went after her, and then she made a second video about their legal troubles afterwards. And I'm like, oh my god, this is the best tea. This is amazing. Like I feel bad that, you know, like people had to like live through this stuff, and like, oh man, you probably spent so many months getting harassed by this woman.
yeah.
But like wow, the amazing roast and the content that came out of it. Like I sincerely hope that you're getting your ad money off of that video.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny what people try to take others to court with. I'm on my second week of on-call for jury duty.
Oh no.
So I'm hoping I have something like that, or like,
oh, no.
I'm the one who started the Omegaverse, and I'm like,
oh
wow,
my
this is
god.
case. I am living.
Like,
I'm
you're
really
just sitting
hoping
there
I don't call it.
like, wow, this is something that I'm qualified to
Actually, but it's like, as a juror, you
yeah.
can't say anything. But when
No, no,
like the
no.
jurors behind the doors or whatever, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
start deliberating and stuff, then I could be like, actually,
yeah.
just look on do you see this website AO3, everyone? And they're like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, she did not make this. This belongs to the gays.
Oh my god.
And I know
Jesus.
nothing really about this whole Omegaverse. Shockingly, I'm looking at anyone on Tumblr who may be here. I don't know. I know the bare bones on that. Like, I was hanging out with my friends a few weekends ago, going to Hot Pot for the first time, and one of them does read that kind of fanfic.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
looked at her, I'm just like, is that where submissive and breedable came from? And she's like, absolutely. And I'm like, oh my god, that's the only thing I know about it then.
Oh my
But yeah,
god.
I'm looking at people on Tumblr in the stream, they're hearing me say that. It's true. I don't know really anything about it, and I'm too scared to learn anything about it. And then we did a filter while we were in Starbucks after the hot pot.
Oh
about
no.
if you're whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm a beta.
Oh
And then they're like, oh,
no.
and they're just like, oh, you're not really anything special, so you don't have to worry. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah. And it was so funny.
The only reason I know anything is because of the court case. Like, because
Oh
of
my
that
god.
video. Like, that's the only, like,
oh no.
like it was a concept that I knew of, you know?
Yeah, no,
and like
yeah,
I figured
the win.
yeah, and like you by having a general understanding you know some things. Like you just do. But then you listen to the details of this court case and it's so thoroughly explained that's like,
Oh my
wow,
god.
I never wanted to read anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
Guess who has?
You have.
Oh
Okay,
god.
okay. This is it's somewhat related. This is my little. I laugh at this every year. Every year, I won't go
Okay.
into super detailed, of course, because we're on stream.
Yeah.
But I always think it's so funny when people on Tumblr roleplay in the spring with non-human whatever characters start going, oh my god, it's spring, everyone is so hot, oh my god, I'm in, oh my god.
I have never experienced that. That is not a universal experience.
It's not a universal experience, thank god. But I was telling me and Naga were talking, and I'm just like, and I know a little bit about that Omegaverse, as that the same thing quote unquote happens to whatever in the spring, and I'm just like, do they not realize it's not spring? That's for ducks and prey species. Like, are you saying that your character is a freaking duck? and then I'm like, and that you're a deer, that your character is a deer. Because that's the only time. That's the only animals that happens to is prey species in the spring. It's prey species, and it's so funny. And I'm like, everything else is in the fall, by the way. The only thing that's having babies are your bunnies and shit. And it's so funny. It's not. I'm just like,
wow.
Y'all are misinformed. I'm so sorry, kings.
Y'all are misinformed.
No, deer are also in the fall. Everything is, a lot of things are in the fall, and I'm just like, and that's why Aaron's is in the fall because it's biologically correct.
Man, I'm so sorry to everybody listening tonight. This is one of those nights that we probably would have preferred if nobody was here.
No one's here. You get me on almost unfiltered. I'm coughing. I'm sweating. Why is this a line here?
I think it's so funny that whenever we talk about weird shit, there's more people here. It's like, do you guys tell your friends? Like, haha, guys, look, the Pony podcast is talking about whatever. Like, look at them, how foolish they are.
I hope your mom ain't listening to this one
tonight.
Oh,
I hope not. She texted me.
Oh, hi, Emma's mom.
Oh no, they're camping this week. They're
Okay,
camping.
she can't tune in. Thank God. I still have some
No.
dignity left with your mother.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think the boyfriend's listening, and he said he was taking a nap, so.
You know what? I haven't met him, or I've even spoken a word to him. If this is the first thing he hears from me, so be
I think you guys would get along great.
it.
He's really big into Pokemon.
Oh hell yeah!
The other day, when I was over at his place, we were trying to like figure out, like it was the time that we went to the zoo, and we were trying to figure out like what do we do before zoo, because you needed to like get a time slot, and ours wasn't until
Mhm.
the afternoon. So we're like, well, shit, like what do we want to do? We're like, we don't have anything to do, and we spent the entire morning just hanging out on his couch, and he's like, do you mind if I play Pokemon? Like, no, I'd love to see you play Pokemon. Let's go.
Hell yeah!
So he dedicated the entire morning to trying to evolve his Baneri.
Hell yeah! Get that Lopunny, boy.
Yeah. Because we were like, I was like, I don't know. The sexy rabbit makes me uncomfortable. And he goes, and he, because he had just his regular Baneri, and he's like, this is what it evolves to, and he showed me, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And he goes, well, I like it, so we're gonna do whatever we can to evolve my Baneri. And I was like, you gotta
Did you ask
fucking
him why
kidding
he
me.
liked it?
I didn't, but I have a feeling I know why.
Yeah, that's what we call in the fandom the sexy mom
Oh god.
or the waifu Pokemon.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, that's legit.
That is legit. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got a video like earlier this week because he didn't get it done over the weekend, and I got a video this week that was like of the Baneri evolving, and I was like, "You did it, babe! You did it!" Like there were no
You
words; it
did
was
it.
just a video of Lopunny, and I was like, "Wow, you did it!"
I'm so happy for him. Those are not hard to get, but take a while.
Yeah, like
Because you have to become their friend. And I'm like, what?
yes. Yes, that was one of the big things that he was getting so annoyed because like we were reading how to do it. Like I was looking up how to do it. And I was like, yeah, you gotta be friends with it. You gotta go to this certain lady that's gonna tell you like what level of friendship you are and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like we went to see her, and they're like, oh well, Bunny kinda likes you, but they're not sure about you yet. And he goes, okay, we're gonna take it on a bunch of raids. I'm gonna fight with it a bunch of times, and I hope it likes me more. An hour and a half later, didn't make a damn difference.
What Pokemon game was this?
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like one that you can take them like camping.
I think that's Sword and Shield.
I think you're right.
Because was it like a big open field that you could ride your bike on?
Um, I know, like he had a bike to get around, but you could go
Yeah,
to
it was
like,
Sword and Shield.
yeah, you could go to like the cities and stuff. But yeah, you got around on a bike, and then you could take your Pokemon camping. And
Mm-hmm.
he asked me, like, he pulls up like all the Pokemon he's got. He's like, okay, pick an entire team, and then we're gonna do something fun. This is before I knew about the camping mechanic, and I was like, okay, I want all these. And then he takes, he goes, oh well, we're gonna go camping with them. And then he hands me the
Yeah.
controller, and he's like, there you go, Emma, play with all your Pokemon. I was like, oh.
Oh yeah. The one sad thing about that
Yeah.
that one, so you can go camping with them, great. In the games before that, they were on the Nintendo 3DS, right?
Yeah.
You could pet them, and
Yeah.
they would react. And that was the best mechanic Pokemon has ever introduced, ever. Because I would sit there and cry because I'm petting Pokemon.
One of the things
And
I
then they
thought
took
was
it away.
absolutely insane, though, was like some of the battles he was doing. And
Mhm.
you can like supersize the Pokemon. Like,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
What?
Gigamaxing?
Yes.
Because one of the people who worked on the game worked on Godzilla stuff, if I recall
Oh
correctly.
my god, that's
Mm-hmm.
hilarious.
It's wonderful.
That's amazing. But I love the sounds that they make when they're Gigamaxed because it's just like, yeah. It's so
I never
dumb. I
cared to
love
do
it.
that. After I learned canonically that physically hurts the Pokemon, like
Oh
hurts them to do it,
no.
I'm just like, never mind.
Oh
Never
no.
mind.
I think the funniest one was when we Gigamaxed Pikachu and it was just like, Pika! Like,
Pika.
yeah.
It's so funny.
It's amazing. Like, and I'm not a big Pokemon person. I have only played Go like a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god, like that was honestly hilarious and like just like fun to do it with somebody else. Like I don't think I could like stand to do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the patience for that. But it was really fun to like have somebody that knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
You
next
might.
chance?
I hope you guys when the new game comes out, or the new generation I should say comes
Mm-hmm.
out this fall.
Yeah,
You two should play it together.
we should. We were playing the new Kirby game not too
Mm.
long ago, and oh my god, that was a blast.
Emma, where are you
I'm
going,
sorry, there was a
Emma?
bottle.
Eh,
Were you
Let's see,
going
are you? I'm
Jasper's?
just gonna. Sure.
Okay. I'm just kind of going in
Where-
circles because I'm fully maxed as well.
I have my halflinger, but I'm not pressed as I once was to level it up because I
Yeah.
had 4 horses to level up, and now I just have one. So I'm like, I'm good. I can work on that next week.
Oh man. And then I bought star coins today. I think it was did you see our
The
our yeah.
fiasco. Yeah. That's why I always buy it through PayPal.
Well,
Because
okay.
my mom still has access to my bank account and she doesn't have to see it, and I'm spending it on horse money.
See, I'm the opposite. Is my mom and I share PayPal
Yeah.
and
Because
but
business.
yeah, cuz business, but like when it comes to bank accounts, it's like they're both my parents are on mine, but they don't ever like look at my statement. And
Mm-hmm.
I have a credit card through the bank now that is just like my credit card, so it's not attached to any of their stuff. So basically, like nobody can judge me for any of my transactions that I put on that credit card. And so I wanted to do it on that one, and I completely forgot about the whole, oh, it might actually like deny you because it's coming from Sweden. So yeah, first it was Amber, then it was me, and then Stephanie too. And
Oh my god.
it was just really funny because all three of us were like, we just want to Star Coin. Just give me the Star Coin. Like
Yeah, I never tried paying for it outside of my PayPal.
yeah.
So I never knew that was an issue. I'm like, oh, because it's coming from Sweden.
Yeah, which is why the last couple times I had done it, or my mom had, either of us, is we did it through PayPal. Because when we first bought lifetime memberships in 2017, um, like it was a big thing that her credit card company got a hold of her and was like, you need to explain these 3 transactions, because at the time it was we bought lifetime for me, my mom, and my friend who no longer even like is associated with the business. But we
Yeah.
that was like okay, that's if we're all gonna play Star Stable for videos, then we all need to have lifetime. So that's what we did. But yeah, it was like she was on the phone with them like quite a few times because she's like, I swear it's not fraud. We just want to play the horse game. Like
Yeah, oh my gosh. And that's so funny because okay,
mm-hmm.
the transaction for my quote unquote plastic, don't know what it's actually made out of, pony, aka Blue the Velociraptor.
Yeah.
The payment just went through because they all came into the shop.
Yeah.
About 13th. So yeah, was it this week? Yeah, this week. 13th of this week. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so she's getting ready to get packaged and shipped.
Yay!
And my mom is only still connected to our bank accounts because my sister has poor spending habits.
Oh no.
So that's why my mom can still see my stuff, but she doesn't really like bother me about it or anything.
Yeah.
She doesn't really care. But it's coming from a Japanese company.
Yes.
So everything is, the payment was a transaction to all these kanji letters or whatever letters. And my bank didn't give a shit. They're like, okay.
See, now when I bought
was like, Jesus.
Yeah, like that happened with I have a figure from I think it's Kotobukiya, which is a anime figurine store, and I have my Nightwing from them. And I probably waited a year for that thing on pre-order, but my bank never flagged it, not once, and it was a bunch of Japanese characters. And I'm just like, okay, so you flag that, or you won't flag that, which could potentially look like a to American censors basically could look like a suspicious purchase, but the thing that's fully in English coming from Sweden does something for you.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's so weird. I'm like,
no!
According to banks, Sweden doesn't exist. Sorry.
No, not at all.
I think it's so funny too that I think they usually don't care about Japanese or Chinese purchases coming through because, like, Wish and all that shit.
Oh, sure.
You know, just so many companies. Like, Japan and China are the biggest manufacturers for a lot of American goods. So
right.
That's probably why they're like, they probably just bought something from a weird site, whatever.
Yeah.
But the second it comes from Sweden, they're like, now hold your horses.
Literally, no horses for you.
No virtual ponies for you.
Although, I will also say that there was okay, 1 year at Briarfest, we almost had our credit card completely shut off.
Declined or something.
Yeah, because it was deemed a suspicious purchase. My mom had to get on the phone with the credit card company at Briarfest and explain, because it was the way that Briar charges you for things is, even though you're in Kentucky, they're still charging you from New Jersey because that's where Briar's based out of. So even though we had a yearly trip to Kentucky and all these other transactions are from Kentucky, then there's a handful of New Jersey transactions that to the bank, to the credit card company, didn't make sense. So now every year before Briarfest, my mom has to call the credit card company and be like, we're going to Kentucky this week. There are going to be charges on the card from New Jersey.
Oh, no.
Do not decline my credit card. Oh my god. And I get why they do that kind of thing, but it's just oh my god.
Oh gosh. And they're like, but wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. And you're like, oh.
Please, no. Oh, it's 5 to 9 champ time. It's Valedale champ. Oh god. Oh my god.
Valedale champ. Valedale.
I'm halfway between. Actually, I'm probably closer to Jaspers than I am Golden Hill, so I'm running back to Jaspers.
Oh yeah, I'm headed back to Jaspers.
Oh wait, you know what? I could have gone to the Cape West one. It's fine. I'm still going back to Jaspers. I forgot there was a trailer in Cape West. Whee. Wee. Man, today's horse game sesh has been something else.
I think, yeah. I've said some words.
Oh, when you brought up Jonas earlier, I thought of a funny story that it didn't really like add to the context of what we were talking about, but I can tell it now.
Yes.
So I I frequent McDonald's a lot because it's like it's cheap, and when you get stuff, when you do things through the app, you get it for like really cheap. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm basically at this point working a little bit above minimum wage, I guess.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, yeah, I'm this is what I'm doing. I'm getting, I'm doing the McDonald's app and everything. Well, my app stopped working. It
Mm.
stopped letting me log in under like one of my actual emails that I have like my name and everything on, right? It stopped working
No.
because and then I tried like logging in through Facebook, wouldn't work. So and they're like, oh, just reinstall the app kind of thing. That didn't work either. Uh,
Aw.
so basically, I had to make a new account. I lost all the points that I had on the other one, which wasn't a huge deal, but it was like, sucky. And the only email that I had free that I could make an account with is the one that I use for my multi, which has Jonas's name on it. So so there have been days at McDonald's where I'm like, hey, I need to, like I have a code from the app that I need to like scan, or like, here's the numbers or whatever. And they'll scan it and it'll bring up the name associated with the account. They're like, oh, Jonas? And I'm like, the first time it happened, I was like, that's not, wait. And then I realized, because it automatically takes your name from your Gmail, that was the name that I had in Gmail. And I was like, oh my god, that's cringe. But, but, but like, I've never been like called my name in a McDonald's drive-through anyway. So
Yeah.
it was just like really weird. I've had like visceral reactions to it, and like I know like the first time it happened, the cashier was kind of like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, it's not my account." Like
That
it's
is
like
so funny.
but yeah, but it never like the impact of it never lessens however many times it happens. I mean, like imagine you're
Johnny.
imagine you're just trying to go through the drive-thru and all you want are some McNuggets, and you get up to the window and they're like, "Hi, Aaron, how's your day going?"
I should honestly actually put Aaron as, as I spelt it, because that's how I thought you spelt it when I was 5. Put Aaron in and then boom, that's Aaron.
Yeah.
But I want to see how they pronounce it every time. I'm now extremely tempted. You have no idea.
Cuz like it's
Just to
happened.
figure out.
Yeah, cuz like I'm sure people are like, "Oh, it's probably using like your boyfriend's account, or like somebody related to you or something like that." But it's like, nah, it's my OC.
Because something funny about how I spell Aaron's name. The only reason it's never been changed because I've had it that way since I was 5.
Yeah.
So it's not changing. You can pronounce it that way, but I've learned that it's actually a feminine name, like somewhere over in the
Oh.
Middle East, and it's pronounced Irene.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, and that I think that's awesome that it's like a legitimate name somewhere, just
Yeah.
pronounced differently and everything. I'm not saying I'm the one that spells it right. I know it's not spelled right. But oh my god, now I want to do that. Like go to McDonald's and just
Yeah.
have Aaron's name the way it's exactly spelled.
Yeah.
And just see all the different times how they pronounce it.
Yeah,
Because I want to know his suffering.
Yeah, just sign up. Just sign up for for the McDonald's app with either a Gmail associated with that name or whatever. And at some point, a McDonald's employee will call you by that name.
I read him like it's Aaron, you asshole. Because I have it canonically that he hates going to like Starbucks or Caribou or whatever, because he gives them his name and they're like, oh, Aaron, okay. And then he gets his cup and they never spell his name right. They can never
Oh,
get his name right, and it hurts his feelings.
that's so sad. That reminds
And
me
he
of like
doesn't
Lee.
correct them.
That the
Poor
same
Lee.
Yeah, the same thing kind of happens with Lee, except like I used to have it that like Liana was her like name, like what she changed her name to. Changed, from Emily. But then I was like, I don't think she would do that. So, but it's still like the pronunciation of it anyway, because there's a lot of people that will say like Leona,
Yeah.
and which is not necessarily wrong. Like
Yeah.
that is a name, and that is a way you can pronounce that name. It's just that the way that she prefers it is Leon.
Liana,
And
yeah.
yep. But to make it easier on everyone involved, she just goes by Lee, because Liana
Mm-hmm.
was a nickname that her grandma gave her, and it means
No.
it means little lion in Finnish.
How cute.
Yes, and it's actually the name of, it's spelled a little bit differently, but it's the name of one of the lions in the Between the Lions PBS show. And
Oh,
I never realized that, and I loved that show. Like
I
even
remember
like
that show.
as a kid, and even it would be on sometimes in the morning before I went to school when I was in high school. And like, because we didn't have cable, so the only thing that I watched in the morning was either like Channel 15, which was TBS, and Big Bang Theory and Saved by the Bell reruns, or PBS. Um, so there was a lot of Wild Kratts and Between the Lions in the morning.
Hmm.
And I never made that connection until one day I'm listening to Between the Lions, and they're like, "Oh, Liana," and I'm like, "What?
Like, shut up.
Like, what did
Shut
you
up.
say?"
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
awesome though.
yeah. Wee bottle.
Yeah, I don't have a fun reason for his name because I was 5 years old, other than I named him after Aaron Carter because what 5-year-old in the early 2000s doesn't do that?
Aaron Carter. Aaron Carter.
I want candy.
Oh! Oh my god, that's great.
And don't look him up now. Aaron Carter
Oh
is a
no.
big ass nobody now.
Oh
Oh my god,
no.
he is quite the character. But he's yeah, that's who Aaron is actually named after, by the way.
Oh my
The I
god.
Want Candy Kid.
That's amazing. That is incredible. Um
Yeah.
Jonas, let's see. Jonas actually was named
The Jonas Brothers.
no, actually. But
Damn
somebody
it.
brought that up in a thread recently, and I thought that was hilarious.
That's beautiful.
Um
That's beautiful.
yeah, but no, Jonas was my 4 a.m. fever dream character.
Ooh.
There was a post that I had seen about like characters with wings, and I was like, oh, that would be so much fun, because then you get to write how the wings react to things, and are the wings like an extension of themselves? Do they kind of like react like they have a mind of their own, kind of thing? And I was fascinated by that, and I wanted to make a character like that. And at the time, I had wanted to use like Colin Ford as a face claim. Like, I loved him in Under the Dome and a bunch of the other stuff that he was in, and I was like, I want those vibes. And the area that I'm from, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of them too, but there's a lot of mourning doves. So I'm very familiar with mourning doves. And I also liked the concept of, because I have to give my characters pain, that it's a mourning dove. It's not mourning like MORNING
Yeah.
mourning. It's like mourning like grief. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's
so it has like
perfect.
the yeah.
Yeah. And I got all the way through. Like I was up. I remember being up all the way through the night, and then sleeping like 2 hours, and then going to school.
Oh
And
my god.
yeah, so like I made that entire blog, Jonas's first blog. I made that entire blog overnight. His backstory and everything, the lab, everything. It was like the craziest thing I've ever done, and I've barely
Oh
tweaked his
yeah.
backstory since then. Um,
That's
And
amazing.
it was
Just a
just
fever dream.
incredible. Yeah, it was just absolutely like in the morning I forgot that I even did it. Like I had 2 hours of sleep and I woke up and I was like, what was I doing last night? And I opened up my computer and I was like,
Waking your son.
oh my god, like what is this? Um, and eventually he like changed to a redhead or whatever. But like at the time when I was trying to, I had done everything except kind of come up with like a name that I really wanted, and
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I really like the name Jonas. And I didn't realize until later. I was like, okay, I'll put Jonas as a placeholder name, and then I'll go back and I'll look up some stuff and see if I can get something that has like a little bit better, like maybe like a personal connection. Like if I sometimes like to name characters things that have like a hidden meaning,
Yeah.
like a we'll use this later kind of a thing. And I I was looking up like what the name Jonas actually means, and I just about shit myself because it's Hebrew for dove.
Oh,
And
that's
I was like,
perfect.
what?
That's beautiful.
So that was my like crazy original character creation. Um and then I started drawing him, and I decided that I was gonna change him to be a redhead, and I was gonna give him like a ridiculous amount of freckles, and we were gonna go that route, which I had a lot of fun with because that made him so different from like Lee and Trevor, because Lee and Trevor were like always um, kind of an item in my head because they're basically
Hmm.
supposed to be foils of each other. like
Yeah.
like if the same thing happened to two different people, how would they handle it, kind of things. And Lee handles it relatively well and Trevor handles it not so
Hmm.
well. um but Jonas is my ray of sunshine boy, and god, he's so much fun. I'd always love telling people that story of like, yeah, this is my fever dream character.
Oh, he is. That's beautiful, though. I
Yeah,
love that. I love
yeah,
that for you. And now he's still here.
yeah, he's still
He's still
here.
here.
We're probably coming up on, I know it's been over 10 years of Lee and Lava. So
Hmm.
we're probably coming up on 10 years of it's probably 10 years of Trevor this year, because he did come a little bit later, but he came before Jonas. Um so we're probably coming up on 10 years of Trevor and Jonas here. But
Years old.
yeah, there's so many.
Like, then there's me. Oh, coming up on my 20 years of Marin.
I love
Because I'm
that
going to
for
be
you.
25 in August. And I'm like, I'm stuck in this hell. He has me trapped in his basement. Send help. Did you
I saw that
see
ask.
that ask I got? I woke up to that and I was just like, why are you asking why?
I
I've
thought
been
that
here
was
for
so
9 years.
funny. Yeah. I thought that was so great. I'm like, oh, and you even made art to go with it.
I was like, I got off work around 1 and I just like, and then I did my art request stream because I thought I was going to be busy today. Didn't
Yeah,
turn out
yeah.
to be busy. Laid in bed until 2. It was great. But I quickly just animated that because I was just like, yeah, you found me. Because I don't know if you know where that's from,
It's
but
from Legend of Zelda, isn't it?
yep,
One of
it's
the
a
little
little
Korok.
Korra.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you found me. I just thought this was like, I didn't know you have a roleplay blog. Why do you have a roleplay blog? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you? I've been
Yeah.
here for 9 years. Where have you been? You
Oh my
finally found
god.
me? Because my roleplay blog, which is one of my more quote unquote successful
Yeah.
social medias. It was one of my first social medias that I actually put effort into, but I've been
Yeah.
there for 9 years. I'm just like, I've been here for 9 years, man.
See,
I
and
don't know what to
you
tell you.
okay. I just so that I get it straight in my head is like, I think I remade even my earliest blogs like a couple times. Did
I've
you?
never remade.
Yeah, okay. So you've never done that.
I can't do that.
I get to a point where like, well, at least when Jonas's old blog is still all intact. I never remade it. Trevor's Trevor's is not, because initially he was a side blog to Lee, And then I think that got deleted. One of my early Dick Grayson one, the circus alternate universe one. That was okay. That one was really funny. It was awful, but it was funny because I was going to I was going to delete side blog off of my Robin blog, which the
And
side
you
blog
actually
was the
deleted
circus
the
one,
whole
and it
blog.
deleted the whole thing. So then I decided that, oh well, I guess I'll just remake and I'll make them both separate. But now I'm actually I came back with my multi in 2019, I think 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2019, and and then I remade last spring, because I just had gotten to a point where I was like, oh my god, I feel very overwhelmed in this space and I need to like condense.
Yeah.
You know. But I understand like not wanting to lose any of basically what is your history. You know,
Well,
like I
I
get it.
can't necessarily say that because I went back, I think
Mm-hmm.
this was last year,
Mm-hmm.
just because like there was like a falling out with one person, and
Mm-hmm.
then just seeing that my post count was nearing like 70,000.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
felt very cluttered. So I went back and basically deleted absolutely everything other than art
Mm-hmm.
and aesthetic posts, because I figured an aesthetic post could say, but I deleted like every headcanon in every thread.
Mm-hmm.
Not even archive. I didn't even archive any of them. I just deleted absolutely everything up till 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just like, I guess I get why people remake, but I'm just gonna delete shit.
Yeah.
So I did a mass delete of all that. So it's like, yeah, things can feel cluttered, but I also am very attached to my dash because there's even personals that I have followed
Mm-hmm.
for these 9 years and all these other blogs that I would have no idea remember what the URL is for like 9 years.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just like, I could leave or like could remake.
Mm-hmm.
Leave. But
leave. You can't
I'm
leave.
just sitting in my chair, man. I'm not gonna move until Rolfscape is made, and that production got kind of put to a halt currently because the one developer is very busy with his full-time job right now. So I'm just like, I guess I'm just gonna hang on until for a bit longer. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at like I never ever talk. I would talk about my follower account though,
Mm-hmm.
because in the years past when I did, you'd get these people be like that would only start interacting with you because of your follower account, and I'm just
Yes.
like, no, you don't understand. I've been here 9 years.
Yeah.
And
I
don't I'm like,
think
so I don't mention it anymore. I'm just like,
right.
please leave me
Oh, I know
alone.
it used to be a big thing with like follower milestones and stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. But
No one does that anymore, and it's
the
so nice. One, no one really cares, and then it's just a way for people to show off like it. And Tumblr is still at that point right now, even worse than it has in years past, where it tries to be a popularity contest. Not
mm-hmm.
really on my dash anymore because a lot of my mutuals aren't like that.
Right.
Thank God. But I've seen it in other spaces where people vent to me about how people try to consistently one up each other
Yeah.
on their own dash in real time. And
Yep.
it's just like, I'm like, that's insane. What?
Yeah.
And because my fault, like last time I ever mentioned my follower account, I just got so many people who randomly followed me then and then only wanted to interact. I could tell simply because they thought they'd get clout
Right.
for following me. I'm like, you don't understand. I write a yellow piss cat dog. I ain't special. I'm a weirdo. Listen.
Yeah.
Because right now,
some of the go ahead, finish your thought,
I was just
and I'll pop
my
in.
thought because my follower count right now is at a really nice number, and I'm just like, no, unfollow me. It's aesthetically pleasing to look at because it's 1,330.
Oh
And I'm
wow.
yeah, I'm just like, that's aesthetically pleasing. No one follow me. I'm done. I'm cutting it off.
I think one of the most overwhelming follower counts that I've had on Tumblr anyway is when I was consistently on my Robin blog, and that was my most active because like
Yeah,
Dick
you've
Grayson
told me
was a
about
very,
that.
very popular character, and I was probably like
Mm-hmm.
15 or 16, and I got to a point where I think I was sitting between 2 and 3,000 followers,
Yeah.
and it was honestly like kind of scary because you're just sitting there going like, oh my god, like that's a lot of people who are either here, and
Yeah.
a lot of them were either there because they wanted to ship with you or they like read your stuff like fan fiction, because
Yeah.
there was a lot
I didn't
of
even think of it that way. Holy shit.
yes, there were a
I don't
lot
like
of people
that.
that yeah, that would follow me for like bird flash stuff or certain ships, and I'd have to go on a blocking spree every now and then because they'd be reblogging it, and I was like,
Oh
no, 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 no,
no.
no, 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 no,
This is a role play. This is role play.
yeah, it's
Stop.
like you need to be considerate and to not touch my shit.
Yeah.
And that was one of the, like, when I brought my multi back, I did the OCs first and only the OCs because I was so afraid of any of that kind of stuff happening
It
that I was
doesn't really
like,
in the OC
and it
circle.
doesn't now, no. So
Mm-mm.
I felt pretty comfortable like bringing that back.
Cannon's back.
Also,
Yeah.
hi Oreo Stan in the chat. We are actually we're American. We're vibin'.
Yeah.
And my Star Stable name is Emma Lion C, and Lurie's is Lucia Yellow Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on Frost Valley, and
Heck yeah.
you can also find us on like Instagram and stuff. Lurie's at Lurie Noodle.
I'm Larry Noodle everywhere.
Lurie Noodle,
Yeah.
and mine is on there. Paint Pony Studios is on the bottom of the screen. We're just chilling tonight.
Just hanging
Yeehaw.
out.
Say the Baroness is champ. I was thinking about like popping off stream in a bit, but the Baroness's champ is at 9:30 and it's 9:20, so I'm like, oh, we can do another 10 minutes of stream
Yeah.
and do the Baroness's champ. I'm just
But
like,
yeah,
I'm
go.
slowly yeah, there's Lori.
That's me.
There's Lori. Yay. Lori's in the
But,
chat.
yeah, like that's the like I have a few friends
Whee.
who do write canons.
Yeah.
And like the worlds are so completely different from like the OC realm to the canon realm, or when you do anything, even if it's an OC in that canon verse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy to hear like about fandom problems, and I'm like, I'm
Yes.
sitting here eating my popcorn. I'm like, I have no idea what that's like. That's not universal. I'm sorry. That's insane.
Yeah, fandom drama used to be like really crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's gotten better depending on what fandom you're in exactly. And I say that as somebody who likes to write Peter Parker and only pays attention to Spider-Man and stuff that's tangential directly to Spider-Man. The Marvel fandom is insane.
Yeah.
I love I have very much I have Marvel fatigue right now. I just finished watching Moon Knight. It was great, but I did put it off for a while because I'm so goddamn tired. Have not watched Miss Marvel yet.
Is that out now?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And
I still have to see the new Doctor Strange, but I'm waiting for it to come on Disney Plus now.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not the best. It's the thing that sucks for me as somebody who likes Doctor Strange as a character is I don't think they should have billed it as a Doctor Strange movie because it's all about Wanda. Like, Strange isn't even the main character in his own movie.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's still a good like story in the universe. And it's definitely like No Way Home is going to have a ripple effect through a lot of things. And like that's like Multiverse of Madness is probably 6 months after No Way Home.
Okay, so yeah, they don't even know who's Spider-Man is.
So they know of Spider-Man, which is a thing that they actually do touch on briefly, because at the beginning of the movie, um, like America finds Strange and is like, I need, kind of like, I need your help. I know you're familiar with the multiverse, and he says something like, "Oh yeah, there was that incident with Spider-Man a while back." Um, nothing about like what that actually entailed, other than, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like that's a thing that happened. Um, but it is a really interesting film because Sam Raimi wanted to like give it the horror elements, because I and
Yeah.
I've only just recently watched the Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
movies. Um, I loved Andrew as Spider-Man. He was like my Spider-Man, and then
Yeah, he's mine too.
I do have an attachment to Tom's, just because I feel like for me personally, that's the one that's the most relatable to me. But that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean I don't love the other ones. So I just like, I had to catch up on the Raimi ones, and he has a very very interesting visual style, and it's super apparent that it's a Sam Raimi movie, Multiverse of Madness. But he claimed, he's like, oh yeah, I want to lean like really heavy into horror because I love horror. Like I'm used to directing horror, and I think him saying that kind of let a lot of people down, because it wasn't as much as I was expecting. But
Mm-hmm.
also you got to consider that like 32 minutes of film got cut.
Oh no, yeah.
So like what got cut? Because there are a lot of the scenes that revolve around Wanda, which are stuff that I personally love, because I love seeing witchcraft in the MCU. I love seeing like witchcraft
Mm-hmm.
manifest in a way that's very similar to how I write it. Um, but a lot of the stuff revolving around Wanda is the horror stuff, and I love
Yeah.
that. I love like
Oh, good.
supernatural horror, but I don't. I feel like they could have gone further, and that's probably just me being picky. Uh, but I did think it was really fun. Um, there's definitely some like weird writing. There's a there's a meme that's been going around of like Wanda. Have you watched WandaVision at all?
Have yeah.
Okay,
I
so
really like WandaVision.
yeah, and the boys from WandaVision are back in Multiverse of Madness.
I don't want too many spoilers.
Nope, like that's, I mean,
I mean, I know they're in
she's
there, but I don't
looking,
want to go too
no, and
deep.
I won't, but she's looking for them at the end of WandaVision. And that's
Mm-hmm.
basically where Multiverse
But
of
the
Madness
film,
starts. Which it's funny that it came out over Mother's Day weekend, and it's also like abbreviated as mom. Um, I thought that was really funny, considering the real context of the film when you get into it. But and this is not spoilers, but there's a scene where the boys are singing this really weird song about ice cream.
yeah,
It's so weird. It's like, why would you do that?
that's
Why
scary.
why would you put that in there? Like it's just really bizarre. Um
It's beautiful. That's what it is.
I see you in the
Beautiful.
chat, Oreo Stan. There are jump scares in Multiverse of
Oh, I'm okay with
Madness. There
those.
are. Um there's two like really notable ones that I could think of. Um there's a scene that like when you actually get to watch it, um definitely
Mm.
like text me your reaction, because there was there was a certain universe that they go to, um that I was just like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all the things that my little like nerdy Marvel loving heart desperately wanted to see, um and things that, uh and I don't think this is really spoilery either, because it was all brought up in What If. Have you watched any What If?
I have seen all of What If, but my dad is refusing to watch it because cartoons are for kids. And I'm like,
Oh my
you know
god.
the entirety of Marvel is based on a cartoon, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
actually
he doesn't want to. He's like, well, that's silly if they put it in a cartoon. They're also but they're also putting essential plot points in
yes.
shows on Disney Plus. Why wouldn't they put it in What If?
Yes.
Because What If would cost too much money to actually put real life actors into it. That would be too much freaking money.
Yes. And yeah, like there is it's not 100% necessary to watch the entirety of What If to get a grasp.
I told my dad he should probably watch the Doctor Strange one because I knew that's gonna
that
play a
one's
part in the film.
That one's very important. And then if you want some really cool comparative visuals, the zombie one. The zombie one is really not necessarily important, but I do feel like Raimi did do a lot of callbacks to that, which is so much fun. Like I'm not a zombie apocalypse person. Like I don't really care for the walk. I like the effects and all the work that goes into it, but plotline wise, it doesn't do anything for me. Like I always see people like, "Oh man, I'd love to do an apocalypse AU," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care."
Like, you see with an apocalypse AU, Aaron just like, "I'm gonna go live in the woods and not give a shit."
Yeah, yeah. Like
see y'all later.
I'm like, yeah, that which is probably weird me saying that. Oh, that does nothing for me when like I write so many dead characters.
Yeah.
Or like I have
dead characters. Like I'm already dead, so why would
yeah.
take my name?
Yeah. Like I understand why people are fascinated by it, the whole zombie thing. But like as one of the movie monsters, not really my thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
anyway,
they had their lifespan.
Yeah.
In the 2000s.
In the early 2000s. Yeah.
Excuse me.
2000s, 2010s.
Yeah. It's when they had their big peak alongside the vampires, and I'm like,
yes,
I really don't know what the new it quote unquote thing would be now, because honestly, Marvel has just oversaturated the market that like I really don't know if we're ever gonna have anything like the Twilight era or the Harry Potter era ever again, because
we're so used to everywhere.
Yeah, we're so used to Marvel that like there's no major other IP that people can like go crazy about right now.
I think when Percy Jackson comes out, like I think when the Percy Jackson series starts coming out, we're gonna get a Percy Jackson renaissance.
I hope so.
Which I
didn't read those
so
books
excited
ever.
for.
I just want to hear people talk about something other than or freak out other than Marvel, and it's so funny. Okay, you've seen Our Flag Means Death.
Yes. Yes.
Taka or Taika, I can't remember.
I think it's Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika. Yeah, Taika. That's how you pronounce it. He is on press tour for Lightyear, like Thor.
I forgot Thunder, he was in Lightyear until I saw like one of the new interviews that came out.
And he directed the first episode of Our Flag Means Death, and then he was a supporting actor for the rest of it.
Yeah.
He literally is not shutting up about Our Flag Means Death in a lot of his interviews for other films.
Oh, I love that
he is a part of. He's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this pirate show. You should watch this pirate show. No, and you can tell it's kind of obvious that he directed Thor Ragnarok. But he doesn't remember anything from it. When he's been asked questions about Thor Ragnarok, he's like, I don't remember anything from that. I'm sorry. Like, but you directed it. Like, the people interviewing. Yeah, I don't. I really don't think I'm like. Of course, he has a very specific kind of directing style.
Yes,
you can just tell in these interviews, he is not enthused by it.
Well, I think that's because
Marvel.
the unfortunate part about Marvel movies, for me anyway, is. And I guess this is like a superhero thing in general, and I still haven't watched The Batman, but I was really hoping that The Batman would kind of get away from superhero as a genre.
It does. It's
Good.
A film noir.
That's exactly, yep. That's what, I remember Matt Reeves' big interview during Comic-Con 2020 that I listened to, and I was like, yes, finally, someone that gets it. You know,
Yeah.
someone that gets the concept that superhero is not a genre. Um, we desperately need to branch out from the concept of superhero as a genre and start making, like the Batman is a noir film about a superhero. And then you have like, I think Into the Spider-Verse did a really good job of like, oh, this is a sort of coming of age story, but it's a superhero movie. And
Yeah.
that's exactly the I will, as much as there are some bad writing choices and like bad just choices in general in the Sony Spider-Man films, I will 100% defend Tom Holland's trilogy simply
Hmm.
because they they managed to make a cohesive story that was like, oh, so first he's like, okay, first we get our witty teen comedy movie, but it's a but it's about a superhero. And then we get our kind of coming of age and the, oh my god, this, we get a betrayal story. And then you go into No Way Home, and No Way Home is like entirely about the concept of loss.
Yeah.
So at loss and anger, like that's a really big thing there too. So it's like you get that. Well, even though No Way Home feels more like a fan servicey superhero movie, as does Far From Home, like they feel like they have to have those elements in there. Um,
Hmm.
but that's, I feel like, Daddy Marvel and Disney like looming over the shoulder of the director and going, "You need to make it a superhero movie. Has to be super.
Yeah.
We need flashing
Yeah.
lights and fire and violence and then No Way Home. I No Way Home 100% was spurred on by the success of Into the Spider-Verse. 100%. You
Oh,
can't tell me otherwise.
absolutely. Yeah, no,
Like,
that's absolutely what happened.
yeah, like,
And people for years have been, before the Spider Verse, have been like, how? So it's like, what are you gonna do with Andrew? Like, you had Andrew's Spider
yeah,
Man. He was originally supposed to be part of the MCU.
right,
And what about Sam Raimi Spider Man,
yep,
Tobey Maguire? Like, how does he play into it now?
yeah,
And Spider Verse, it gave Marvel that, oh,
like,
we
oh
can
yes,
ride the
people,
coattail of this,
yeah,
and then tie in all those people complaining.
yep,
And I will not forgive what Marvel did to Andrew Garfield.
yeah,
They literally kicked his ass to the curb, and he was hurt for years.
oh
But
yeah,
he did not want to talk about his Spider-Man role because that was his dream role.
right,
That was his breakthrough role. And then they literally kick him to the curb.
yep.
And now they're like, "Oh, you can come back now." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
But no,
Mm.
I feel like my my favorite film out of any of the Spider-Man films, and I do have an attachment to Amazing Spider-Man 2. I for what, and it's been a while since I've seen it. But I think the fight choreography is great. I know some people like really hate that's their least favorite one. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. I think it's great, but I love Homecoming out of all of them the most, just because to me it feels like the most realistic, like high school age Spider-Man we've ever seen on screen, be
Yeah.
it animation or at least Peter Parker, because Miles was fantastic in Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
but as far as like Peter Parker on screen, I think Tom
Mm-hmm.
in Homecoming is like the closest that we will ever get to like the vibes of that character. And then just like the whole plot of the movie is so small. And I love
Mm-hmm.
that because literally it's like all of it takes place within the same borough of New York, other than when he's on his field trip. Like, that's fantastic. Like, that's all it needs to be when he's in high school is like, give us the little guy. And then now after No Way Home, we'll get whatever we get with this next trilogy. Because there
Yeah,
is going to be one
exactly.
more. I know there is. There was talk about that.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. They're gonna, you know, make as much movies as they can milk money out of it. So
mhm.
And I find it funny too because like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man films are like the first one, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Spider-Man movie because that was the first movie I saw a man
Yeah.
that looks so like Aaron that I'm like, oh my god, Andrew Garfield. And he's so sweet in person, just a
Mm-hmm.
gentle dude.
Yeah.
And then I will not. And when he was in No Way Home,
Yeah.
and then the internet started caring about him, and I'm like, where were you bitches in 2012? Where were you? Supporting him through thick and thin. No, everyone hated Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man because he was given a terrible script.
Yep.
Neither script for The Amazing Spider-Man are good.
No.
But you give Andrew a script and he puts his all into it. And that shows in No Way Home.
Yeah.
Everyone says he was one of the best Spider-Mans in the trio because of how kind goofy he was and everything, and
Yeah.
how much love Andrew put back into the role. I'm like, he's an amazing actor.
Like he
That's
always
why for
did that.
years, he has always done that. Where have you been? He has been almost nominated for Best Actor in the Oscars for like the past 2 or 3 years. Why do you think he has been in that pool of best actor at the Oscars?
Yeah.
It's because he puts his heart and soul into everything that he does. But now you guys only care about The Amazing Spider-Man now because he was actually given a good script.
Mm-hmm.
And he did improv, like the "I love you guys."
Yeah, that was amazing.
Improv. It was amazing, and it's just like in the whole little banter of he's like you say like in like the whole quote unquote amazing banter. He's like I've never done anything cool like that. I've only there's this rhino guy once. I've never been to space where I fought aliens. I'm not cool. Like no, you're amazing. I'm like, I'll watch them banter like that for 3 hours. I don't care.
Yep.
Get
same.
it to me.
Same.
I want them all three to come back or something. They really should.
Well, I don't know if you noticed that Spider-Verse, the second Spider-Verse did get pushed back, and now it's in 2 parts. So
no, it's always been in 2 parts.
Okay.
The next Spider-Verse, it's always been in 2 parts.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was the case, but I was like, oh, all right. So 2 parts. That means we're probably going to get something that in total is about 3 hours long. And like now that it's been pushed back, because the pushback announcement came suspiciously close to after No Way Home. I have some thoughts. Like,
what are your thoughts?
It's like, well, I do think that they might find some way of incorporating at least the MCU Spider-Man into those movies, because Sony has a death grip on this character. And they're not going to let that go.
As they should. Yeah, right. As they should.
Yeah.
Screw the mouse, man.
Yeah, so it's like they're not going to let go of that anytime soon. So seeing the success of Spider-Verse and even the Venom movies, I really haven't watched Venom, but I know that people generally tend to like that.
They're so good.
And we know Morbius was not good. But the fact that the MCU is now dealing in multiverse, that's a big clue for me that Spider-Verse had a massive impact on superhero movies in general, because I highly doubt
impact on film in general. Honestly,
I sincerely doubt that Marvel was going to go with a multiverse storyline until Spider-Verse came out and people were like, oh my god, I love that concept. Because like, think of how expensive a concept like that is for live action.
It is.
Like absolutely. Like that's crazy. So to be able to do that in animation first and see if it pays off. Not that it's not expensive in animation, because I'm sure that Spider-Verse was a hefty budget there. But to do it in animation first before you get any of the actors to sign on for it, and then testing the waters with No Way Home specifically, because people seem to like the the Spider-Men, then doing it in Multiverse of Madness and giving people all the characters that they were super hung up on in properties like What If and, like that kind of thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's fascinating that this is the spiral that we're on, and
Yeah.
I don't know where it's gonna go, but I would be very surprised if at least Tom's Spidey didn't have some kind of role um in the next Spider Verse, especially because he's done voice acting. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure Andrew has too. I just can't think
I
of
don't know if
anything.
I don't think he
Has
has.
he? Okay.
I don't think he has at all.
I don't think he'd
I would know.
be. I don't think that it would be like just because he's already so very expressive. That I don't think he'd have a problem with it because like voice acting and acting are
Yeah.
two different beasts. Um,
Yeah, he right now what he does, he's never done voice acting,
mhm.
but he is big into Broadway. He
Oh
took
yeah,
when
yeah.
after what Marvel Disney did to him, basically he tried to rekindle his love of acting again by
Hmm.
going into Broadway. So he changed up the whole scene, and I think that was really healthy for him. And
Yeah.
then he started getting back into smaller films, and now he's kind of you could say back in the Marvel universe in a way, but yeah, he's
Hmm.
never done voice acting, but yeah, he's big into Broadway. He can sing. Oh
Yeah.
my god. But yeah, I'm watching Tick Tick Boom this week with my
Oh,
mom
it's
because my
excellent.
dad isn't. We haven't seen it yet because my dad hogs the TV. So he's like, I don't want to watch a musical. And we're like, okay, fine. So now this week we're like, yeah, we can watch whatever we want. We're gonna watch Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, it's so good. You will
But yeah,
love it.
yeah, and Spider Verse though it quite literally shaped not only how like film is playing out, but it shaped the trajectory of like animation.
Yes.
Animation films before Spider Verse were all about how many pores can we make people see on a character's face.
Yep.
They wanted it to be realistic but kind of stylized, just a tiny bit. Just a
Hmm.
tiny bit. We don't need to go super stylistic because people love seeing realistic animation. Then
Hmm.
Spider Verse, we're like, haha, you see the older Spider Man boy, he's in 24 frames per second, while Miles, he's still just learning, so we're gonna put him in 12 frames per second. And everyone lost their freaking mind. They're like, what? And
Like,
how
wow,
stylized it
surprise! We
is.
actually want a comic book movie to look like a comic book.
And it looks like
Who
a
would have
comic book.
thought? Who would have ever
They got the
guessed?
stamp of approval by the Comic Book Society. And now look at every single almost every single anime film that has come out since Bad Guys, the new
Hmm.
Puss in Boots film. DreamWorks is heavily playing into the stylized now.
Yes.
Bad Guys was really good. The animation was gorgeous. The same kind of cartoony style
Yeah.
that was inspired by Spider Verse, and now the new Puss in Boots is also inspired by Spider Verse, and it's just like that is the trick. That's where animation is now headed. Spider Verse literally made Marvel go into the multiverse because they realized, oh my god, we can do that.
Right.
We can do that. What? And and then for animation, it literally destroyed the realism movement that everyone was like, "Oh, thank
Yeah.
God," because
Yeah.
the yeah, because quite literally, if you try to make something that looks extremely realistic, it's going to be aged within a few months to a year. You're going to be like, oh, it looks realistic, but in a year, something more realistic is going to come out, and then it's not going to look as good.
Right.
Because that's just how realism rolls. But
Yeah.
if you make something stylized, it lives forever. In the best way that um the best example I can give off the top of my head is Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you've ever seen
I've seen stuff from
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that came out in like 2003, 2004. But it aged extremely well
Hmm.
because it is completely stylized. And it's just like, holy crap. Isn't that wild? When you make something look like a cartoon, no one is ever gonna say it looks bad because, oh yeah, that's a cartoon. Not, oh, they only have 5 pores on their face. Well, this new thing has 6 pores. So you didn't age well. Yeah, I have a lot to say about that topic.
On that note, though, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pop off stream. I gotta get some food.
Yeah, you need to get some
I'm gonna
food.
get some
Goodbye,
food.
stream.
So good night, stream. Thanks for hanging out while we talked about everything from why are Twinkies called Twinkies to Spider-Man.
To Omegaverse to Spider-Man. We had an eventful night.
Yeah,
Horse podcast.
We really went places tonight. Oh boy. All right. Good night, guys.
Horse podcast.